Morning, guys. When I look at my life and when I think and feel how I am right now, the path of mind wealth that I'm on, just how happy, how free, how peaceful I feel right now, I want everybody in the world to feel the happiness I feel right now within me. But I always think, how on earth is it possible that I got to this point when I look at the challenges and struggles I faced in my life? And I know they're nothing compared to some of the ones you might be going through or other people have gone through. But the key is this: embrace the struggle. That's the key. Whatever challenge you're going through, whatever stress, whatever anxiety, understand that there's a reason it's going after you. Don't fight it. Let it come in. Don't be destroyed by it. Fight it, but know that it's there. It's seeking you because you are a miracle. You are 1 in 400 trillion. It wants you because it's going to help improve you. Have a great day, everybody.
I'm learning that I could be still. I'm learning that I could be aware of my thoughts, but then let them go, and I come back to focus on a sound wave in this particular meditation. And then what happens is, over a period of practice, you realize that basically your body disappears. You're no longer in this physical thing. You're no longer having these waves of thought after thought after thought after thought after thought after idea, positive, negative, and everything in between. And in that space of recognizing that I'm not my physical body, I have a physical body, I'm not my thoughts, I have thoughts, I'm not my emotions, I have them. When you start to train yourself to use your brain better, more efficiently, more productively, you realize that I am one with this, incredible universe. So what's the big deal about that? Well, the big deal is that if I am one with this universe, with this energy, with everyone and everything, and that's where everything percolates from, is it possible that all my answers are right here, right now anyway? And the answer is yeah. And so meditation is about practicing. And we know that we have different brain waves. So right now, as people are watching or listening, they're in this beta brainwave frequency where their brain is oscillating at a certain frequency, and there's 50 different brain waves going on at any given time. But what happens is when I move from beta to alpha to theta, delta, or gamma, I'm actually accessing and activating different parts of my brain, which now gives me this deeper, greater sense of awareness of a much bigger, onion that I'm used to seeing. So I'm living on a layer of an onion. And what if I could see like 10 layers up and 10 layers down? So all of a sudden it's like, wow, look at who I am, what I am, who you are, what you are. And in that realization, in that awareness, I can now start to have different choices made. And so meditation is a practice of awareness. It's a practice of going internal instead of external, which is where most people live their lives every day.
John asked so much he said there, man. He talks about the alphas, training your brain, and you have different brain waves from alpha, beta, delta, theta, gamma. I mean, he got so much there. But the big key of meditation, I'm gonna give you two different angles on this. One is we need to practice more self-awareness in life, period. And one of the key ways of practicing more self-awareness is through meditation. And I like to add other things to meditation. I like to add a session of visualization and a session of affirmations. And the way you can really make that come together is through dedication. Meaning you gotta set aside a specific amount of time every single morning and make it part of your routine or your ritual, because meditation is everything. And there is, right now, we live in a society,
just keep going,
where we live in a society where people choose medication over meditation. I believe if you had more meditation, you might need less medication. That's just my opinion, okay? But I just think meditation is a lost art form that we have in this country and in this world, period. And the more we can meditate, the more we become centered with ourselves, the more we can become more self-aware, the more we come in tune with our purpose, our passion, our vision, and our mission. So meditation is so important. I just think meditation is the key to celebration. Let's go.
I like it. Okay, Drew said he had minimal things to contribute.
But he's got something though.
Now that we want some time for him, what do you got, Drew?
Gosh, I find that the time that I spend walking around, just thinking through my day and my problems and whatever's on top of mind, just taking some time to take some space and kind of be with yourself as opposed to having all of the inputs come in. It definitely creates an environment where you can actually start to work on truly trying to figure out what it is that you're going after in life, whether that be with your business, with your family, with your friends. It just creates an environment that is unlike anything else, and if you don't set aside time to do so, it is something that is worth considering putting into your schedule.
Love it.
There you go. All right. I'll take this in a couple directions and then see if these guys want to bite on anything that I'm going to say.
Here we go.
The first is, when John was talking about separating out your thoughts, like I am not my thoughts, I have those thoughts, but I am not my thoughts. The way that I've applied that the most in my life has been the fact that I suck at something doesn't mean that I suck as a human. And so that allowed me to fail a lot more. Where at the beginning of my entrepreneurial career, I had to be perfect. I'm still a recovering perfectionist. I lost a $40 million deal when I was in my 20s because of it. And it haunted me for a long time. And it took a big shift of identity to say, hey, just because I fail at something doesn't mean that I am a failure. And I think that's why a lot of people struggle to get anything going, is because they feel like if they do not succeed at this thing, then they are a failure, period. And no, you just don't have the skills yet. Why do you expect to be so good when you don't have the skills at the beginning? Like, how do you get the skills? Well, you practice, right? You practice with mentorship and you practice with guidance, and you also just practice and you'll get better at the thing. And so just because you suck at the thing doesn't mean that you suck as a human. In fact, it's the opposite. The fact that you are out there trying, I think, means you're amazing as a human. Woohoo! Pat yourself on the back for it. So that's one, just in the disconnection of I am not my thoughts. You're also not your current skill sets or your current reality right now, and you can break free. For meditation, I mean, I love talking to John and guys who are hardcore into it. I separate it into one, just being able to be present, and then two, being able to go into a deeper level. So for the presence, this is where I've struggled a lot personally with meditation, because presence is pretty easy for me. We had lunch before coming here. Drew was asking me all these questions. I just bought a new house. He's asking me, how many square feet is it? Like, I don't know. What's the interest rate on it? Like, I don't know. Did you pay cash for it? I don't know. I'm not thinking about any of this stuff. And I used to judge myself for it, right? People would ask me these questions like, I don't know. Should I know? Oh, now I got to go home and research this stuff in case somebody else asks you this question. I look like an idiot for not knowing. And I've just become more comfortable. I was like, I don't know. I don't focus on these things. I'm about making this video for you guys right now. That's it. What time is it? I don't know. What day is it? I have no idea. I know I'm in Las Vegas with Zane DeMay and Drew Hitchcock making this video for you. And so presence is easy for me. And so that's not much of an advice, I guess, but more, I think, a real benefit. So if you struggle with staying present, meditation could be really beneficial for you, where it's not as helpful for me. The different levels of brain waves, I've never tested. It might be a curious thing to test, like to throw out I consider this meditation. I'm just here in the present moment, focused on making this. I don't remember what I said, and I don't know what I'm going to say in the next 5 seconds, right? It's just being here with you guys. So I don't know where my brain waves are at right now. Maybe we're bouncing all over the place.
Beta, alpha, beta.
I'm listening to Zane and Drew say the thing. I'm in a different brain wave, and then I'm popping. That might be part of it. I think we are meditating a lot. Whenever you're in flow, I think that's meditation. It's just a form of meditation. Zane wants to.
This is good. I want to add this because Drew just sparked this on my mind also, and Evan just confirmed it. There's different forms of meditation, guys. It's not just one form. So you got to try out different forms of meditation to find out which one works for you today. because the one that works for you today may not work for you 5 years from now, because you're in a different place in your life. But there are different forms of meditation, and you can just Google that and look it up, you know, or contact Evan, he knows them. But anyways, and one other thing that Evan said earlier, which is really good, and what he's, what John, he piggybacked off what John said about your thoughts. I really believe this. I believe that you are not your thoughts, but your thoughts can make you who you are. And we do live in a physical body. I think we're spiritual beings that live in a physical body, that have emotions, that have thoughts. And that means you're in control of what thoughts you decide to hold on to. Because you can always change your thoughts. If you could change your thoughts, that means you can change your attitude. If you can change your attitude and your beliefs, that means you can change your mindset. So you're in control of your future. You're in control of all that. You can do that through meditation. Let's go.
I like how it looks like you're just like coming out of the camera on the side. It's just like this floating Zane coming out of the side screen. and maybe final thought for me on it is the Dalai Lama said the best meditation is sleep.
Yes.
And it's worth, to Zane's point, experimenting with different things that make you feel present, self-aware, calm, peaceful, and maybe that's sleep, maybe that is taking a nap, maybe that's walking outside, maybe that's sitting on a pillow, maybe that's doing a guided meditation. Like there are all kinds. And just because one doesn't work for you doesn't mean that it's broken and the idea doesn't work or there's anything wrong with you. I get some of my best ideas when I'm just walking outside. It's a walking meditation.
I love it.
So whatever helps make you feel centered, calm, peaceful in the present moment, that's a good thing. And consider incorporating more of it into your life. Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
The fascination that I have is around living in a world right now where we have access to all the how-to. How do I make more money?
Morning, guys. It's amazing to me how some of the things in life connect to economics and connect to the way we live. So today in our top 10 rules for success, Robert Kiyosaki shares his rule, his 5th rule, which is hard times bring opportunities. And this is so true. And again, it fits with what we're trying to build here. We're trying to build infinite mind wealth. That's our true destiny. And it's amazing when we look at the way we handle our money, the way we think about money. You know, Robert Kiyosaki today talks about how times of depression, economic depression, bring opportunities, but most people don't look at it that way. We get scared, we let fear to kick in, and we lose out opportunities. You know, so that kind of thinking is the same in life. Your hardest times will bring your greatest opportunities, but it's a choice you make to not let fear stop you. I hope this helps everyone. Have a great day.
I want to give you a tip that I recently learned that is literally transformed. I want everyone, after this is done, to go out and do this in your life because it is going to change relationships for you. You have this goal, and if you were to write out all of the steps, you would just be so overwhelmed that you want to close it off. But when you start taking those teeny tiny steps, it's like, oh yeah, oh wait, this is necessary. Oh my gosh, this is enjoyable. Oh my gosh, wait, this is getting better. We have to stop walking through life waiting for permission.
The world needs more Jenna Kutcher. I think so.
Hi, buddy.
Oh my goodness, it's Jenna Kutcher in the house.
My friend. Oh my
How
gosh.
you doing?
Good. Look at how beautiful your backlighting is. I mean, let's talk sets. This is amazing.
Well, you are the former pro photographer. I guess still pro photographer, but yeah, this came with the house. She's got a new house, so I didn't. This was not planned. I'm
so
not
happy
smart
for
enough.
you guys. That's amazing.
Speaking of things to be happy for,
you get to unbox it. I know I was so excited when I saw that you were going to hold on to it until we were together.
So this just came, I mean, we got the new house, and anyway, so this just came like, you know what? I'm going to talk to her in a couple of days. I'm going to open it live while we do this, live on Instagram, and YouTube will get the repeat. But you've been on a crazy tour. Just came back from New York City, and
it's been amazing.
Your face all over the bin.
It's a trip and not a vacation. Strong distinction. We made it. It was amazing, actually. It was so much fun.
How did you get these gold UPS? Like, it's stamped UPS.
I mean,
this is awesome.
This is where the magic is, Ev.
What does your mug say? While I work.
It says you need a budget. So I have been working out of this amazing financial office in our small town in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And this amazing female entrepreneur was like, if you ever need a space for recording things, just come on down the street. And so I am using her mug. There she is.
I love it. Oh, what's this?
A necklace. I mean, it would look really good on you, but I think I know someone who it might look even better on.
I'll put it on right now. This is it. We lean into the awkwardness. Why
Ashley
not?
Hines says, which town am I in? I am in a small town outside of Duluth, Minnesota.
Well, the first word here says believe. So that now I have to put this on.
I know.
The necklace says I
am worthy.
I love it. I love it. And then look at this handwritten note.
That's right, Ev.
I love it.
I go big.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, so while I work out the necklace, how are you really? The new book. This is your first book ever, right?
It is. It is. It's so unreal to like hold it in your hands. As I'm live right now, Tony Robbins is tagging me in stories. What is life right now? It is so unreal. You know the process of how.
I don't know how to put this on. It's not going to fit over my head.
On by yourself. This is like a 2-person job.
No, I can do this. There's a little clasp here. Okay.
Evan,
but how do you really? How do you?
Women do this.
You have to do this blind, right? Okay, but I've never done this. Can I can wear it as like a headband or something.
I mean,
I got to take off my ear set, right?
I believe in you.
Okay, hold on. I got to take this off to be able to reach under and make it happen. So here's while I struggle with this is awesome. I like lean into the awkward here. Our mutual friend, Mel Robbins, told me that jealousy is a directional signal.
Ooh.
So whenever you're jealous of somebody, it means it's just an inspiration that's blocked.
Yeah.
And so when I was thinking, okay, what am I jealous of Jenna for? You know, like she's got the book, but like, what am I jealous of Jenna for?
Okay,
and the thing, the thing that came to mind was you're so great at connecting with people. You're really great. And when we first met in Puerto Rico, like 3 years ago,
3 years ago.
It's like I fell in love with you, and I didn't even know I didn't know who you were. I don't listen to podcasts, so I know who you were. But it's like, man, she's so warm and so kind and so loving and so friendly. And we're all in this giant group chat with some of the biggest names in personal development and entrepreneurship. And whenever you're recognizing people and you're celebrating their wins, and when somebody has something great to share, I always feel awkward. Like I don't know what to write. So it's like. Good job!
Great,
exclamation point. And then Jenna's like all emojis, and it's like, man, I don't know how to. So that for someone who's maybe more awkward or introverted or shy, or like figuring this stuff out, what is your best advice? Well, I struggle to put this on. Of like how to connect with people. Let's start there.
I want to give you a tip that I recently learned that is literally transformed. I want everyone, after this is done, to go out and do this in your life because it is going to change relationships for you. So let me give a tiny bit of backstory. So I recently had my second daughter, Quinn. And for people that have children, I feel like there's two sides of the spectrum. Half of the spectrum loves the newborn phase. Half of the spectrum hates the newborn phase. It's one of those things where it's like this crapshoot of like whatever. And it was so fascinating because when I had my baby, I would be getting these text messages that were polar opposites. So some people would be like, oh my gosh, aren't you just soaking up every minute of it? And then some of them would be like, just hold on. It's all temporary. You're going to survive it. And I recognize that a lot of times when we enter conversations, we enter them with our own context of what we think someone should be feeling or experiencing. And we never actually give people the chance to say, how are you? Really? And so I started doing this thing with my friends, and I want it to become a movement, is I want for people to reach out to someone they love and say this, say, Evan, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at today so that I know how to show up for you appropriately? If you're a 1, I'm going to cheer you on, encourage you, give you that kick in the butt. If you're a 10, I want to celebrate with you. I want to just be with you and sit with you. And I think nowadays, especially because so much is so digital and we share so much of our lives online, it's like we just assume that we know what's going on in people's lives and how they are really. But when we enter conversations and just say, let me know where you're at today, and that way I'll show up for you in the way that you need it the most, it absolutely transforms friendships. So Evan, where are you at today? 1 to 10.
I'm at a.
You're struggling.
I'm struggling. Where is the opening here? Oh, there.
You guys,
okay.
Can you imagine if men had to do the things that women have to do on a daily
there.
basis?
Okay.
Oh, Siri just said that's not nice to me.
That is amazing. Let's go, Siri. Siri's standing up for me. Come on, Siri.
Gosh. Evan's at a 1, they're saying.
I was at. So let's see. Today, I think it changes. If I had to answer that question honestly, I had a really rough sleep. Like the AC was off for some reason.
Your chili pad wasn't working.
My chili pad broke 3 days ago. It broke. Yeah, so I have this chili pad that you put on that like cools down the bed. And we were talking about that. It's fine.
Yeah, we were just talking
about it.
And
it broke. And I love cool, right? Like you need cool. So I was up. I had a really rough night. But I wake up. I'm working on my new book. And so I'm editing and I'm going through it. And I'm excited. Like I'm tired, but I'm excited. Yeah. And then I see all the edits that my copy editor came back with.
Let's talk about this.
It's overwhelming at the start because there's like 20 edits per page.
Yeah.
And like, oh my gosh, I do not want to go through this document. Right. Yeah. But like, okay, put on some music, change my state. Let's go. I am like killing my finger trying to open this grasp. Holy cow.
What do we think? Should Evan give it up?
No. Actually, listen, first off, this sweater is actually a women's sweater because I wanted the holes. Men do not get thumb holes on their hoodies. That needs to change. That needs to change. I didn't even know. I went into the warehouse because I love this. I love the sound, like the deep hoodie, like, oh my God, thumb holes. And I ordered a whole bunch. And then they told me after, that's a women's hoodie. Like, whatever. Perfect. I'm going with it. We're doing it. So I might as well go all in and get the necklace going too. So I see the book with like 1,000 edits in there and I'm stressed out, overwhelmed. And then, you know what, let's just start going through them. Yeah. Let's just start one by one. And most of them are things I don't even care about. It's like I missed a comma or it's a semicolon instead of a whatever the other thing is called. It's like, okay, good. Yeah, go use that. I don't care.
Yes.
And so
isn't that how life is though? Where it's like, if you have this goal and if you were to write out all of the steps, you would just be so overwhelmed that you want to close it off. But when you start taking those teeny tiny steps, it's like, oh yeah. Oh, wait, this is necessary. Oh my gosh, this is enjoyable. Oh my gosh, wait, this is getting better. One of the things that I loved about the writing process was the editing because...
You love the editing? Oh my gosh.
I did, because I just felt like every version got better. Like where it was like, every time I handed it in, I was like, this is it. I know it's it. And then it was like every round of edits, I was like, oh, no. This is stronger. This is stronger. This is stronger.
Yeah.
And
so
I'm like, I wish I could reach through the screen and do this for you. You did it!
Oh my goodness. All right, let's flip this around. Here we go.
Evan is worthy, everybody. Evan is
I am worthy. I am worthy. Okay, good. We got our
That's
chain.
Beautiful on you.
Chain gang.
Really nice.
It matches the logo kind of.
Yeah.
It fits the decor. Perfect. All right, good. This is my new look for the day. I love it. We're leaning in. Anyway, so like for the how am I really? So I woke up like feeling a 1. And then started getting to work and started feeling better. And then I saw how many edits I had to do and then went back to feeling like a 1. And then I started working on it. And it was like, oh, this isn't bad. I'm like at a 7 or 8. Then we're going to go live together. Like, oh, I'm going to ask Jenna. I don't know. So now I'm down to a 3. So I go outside, get some grounding, spend some time with my dogs, watch the interview you did. Because normally I read the book, but I haven't read this. So like I watched the one you did with Tom. And Tom always asks great questions. Like, okay, I got a sense of where we're going. Anyway, so I think it bounces around through the day.
Now you're a 10.
Now we're 10 because I got the necklace all figured out. We're talking to Jenna Kutcher. We're making this happen. This is it. Let's go.
I love that. Isn't it crazy though, too? There's actually a chapter in my book that's titled Feelings Are Meant to Be Felt. And the reason is that I think a lot of times we're like moving through life and it's like we think that we're just going to wake up in a certain state and that state is going to carry us through the day. But if you think about like your emotional state, your feelings, your emotions, your energy, like everything, it's like it's constantly changing. And I think as adults, I've really learned this, especially as a mom, is like with my 3-year-old, it's like a lot of times adults paint this picture of like happiness is the goal of every day. Like just if you're not happy, get there. If you are happy, stay there. And it's like a lot of times we're like missing the full experience of life because we're rushing through feelings or we're not actually like sitting and being like, okay, where am I at? Like, why am I feeling this way? What is this telling me? What is the indicator here? So I think that's really cool too, to bring up like that you can be at a 1 and then a 10 and then a 3 and then a 5. And you know what I mean? It's like we're bouncing around. That's a human experience.
So you've had a crazy journey, you know, going from like working at Target and being a limo driver and forklift operator to then, you know, becoming a photographer, wedding photographer, being the best in the state for I think 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then launching like an insane podcast that takes over America to then doing the book in 2022 to then 2023 being a YouTube queen.
Someday.
We're planting seeds. We're planting some seeds there. Oh. So Jenna needs to be on YouTube, guys, right?
I know. You've always tried.
We'll get there. We'll get there. It's happening. Momentum is happening.
That's right.
But those are like some major shifts.
Yeah.
And as I was kind of researching your story and watching the interviews, this question of how are you really, is this just something that you use for other people, or was this also something internal that helped create the shifts?
Yes. Okay. That's such a great question. So, you know, the difference in conversation, and I feel like you and I have been at tables where we get past the how are you and the accolades and the good things and the fine and the busy and the good. And we get into the like where we really at. Like even recently when we were together in Napa and we were with all these leaders, we went around and usually people are talking about business and like around the table, it was so much about life. Like there's so much life happening. And when I think about like, how are you really, it's not only the question, but it's like the safe space to be like, I trust that I can handle the answers or the responses, or that the person that is asking me the question is there to like hold my truth. And what I think is so fascinating about it, so the subtitle of the book is Living Your Truth One Answer at a Time. And it's not about, I just love holding it. It feels like
it actually feels pretty amazing. I don't know what this cover is made of, but I like it.
I know, isn't it great? But it's one answer at a time, meaning this isn't a question you ask yourself once and you move on. This is a part of your life where you learn how to check in with yourself, where you learn how to honor that question and trust your own responses in it. And also how to extend the invitation for people. I feel like people these days are lonelier more than ever. Like we are kind of moving through life. We've had to move through life in silos for a long time because of the pandemic and everything. And now it's like we're coming back out and we're like, who are my friends? Where is the community? Who's going through life with me? Like, where is the village? And so I really think what's beautiful about the question too is it's like when we can start to get honest with ourselves, we can also invite other people to get honest with themselves. And there's a line in the book that's like, in order to grow yourself, you have to know yourself. And I feel like so many of us are walking around and we don't even know who we really are or what we really want because we're just busy, but we feel like we're missing the point every day. We don't even know what the point of the busyness is.
You talk about the golden handcuffs that keep people kind of stuck in their business or stuck in their life or stuck in a situation where maybe they don't even like the thing that they're doing, but they're just, it's security and they're afraid to go to the next step.
Yeah.
Is this the question to ask to get you out of the golden handcuffs?
I think you already know the answer. Somebody messaged me this morning and she said like the best compliment I could receive about this book. And she sent me this long DM. And she said, Jenna, I have to tell you that I'm only 10 pages in and it's insane because I can finally hear my own voice again. Like It feels like my voice is shouting at me and I've been ignoring it for so long. And part of the book, and I don't want to give it all away, but one of the reasons why I wrote the book was that somebody looked me in the eye and they said to me, there's something you need to do and you know what it is, and I need you to go out and do it. And she looked at me and she said, do you know what I'm talking about? And immediately I was like, I have to write a book. And it was crazy because she didn't say, I think you need to write a book. She said, there's something you need to do and you already know what it is. And so when you think about things like the golden handcuffs, where it's like a lot of people are staying in jobs because companies are presenting all these benefits and these flashy things and, you know, first class flying and the ping pong table in the break room and all of these things. We're not even pausing long enough to ask ourselves, are those benefits benefiting us? Like, are they actually adding value to us? Is this a reason to stay in a spot that I know I need to get out of? And so this woman had sent me this super long message and she was like, I don't know what to do. And all I said back to her was, you already know what to do. It's inside of you. You know, you're just waiting for me to like give you permission. But like, we have to stop walking through life waiting for permission, you know?
I love it. And you've taken so many steps to live so openly in terms of the
Good morning, guys. I'm going to share another story from Les Brown, one of my favorites. This guy is awesome. I want to share a story when he talks about being hungry. So being hungry for me, it's determination. I love this stuff. This is my core. I'm hungry to be the best human being I can be. Well, Les talks about a story when he wanted to become a disc jockey, and he would be like a lion. He'd be waiting, watching. There was this one guy one time, and he wanted his job as a disc jockey. And this gentleman, for whatever reason, was having a rough night. He had, I guess, had a little bit too much in terms of enjoying his recreational activities, let's just say that. So as Les watched him, and when that guy could no longer continue, Les was ready. He was ready to pounce. And I remember him saying, drink, Rog, drink. Drink, Rog, drink. In other words, go ahead, lose your opportunity. I'm ready to take it. So I hope this helps. Have a good laugh from Les, and remember, stay hungry.
A lot of athletes have this term around the A game and showing up and doing their absolute best, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, etc. And it got me thinking about, do you even know what your A game is? Do you know what your A game is like? What has to happen in order for you to be at your best, to play at your best? Is it a routine? Is it a diet? Is it a way of thinking? Is it planning? What is it that would cause you to play your A game? And so here's just a little maybe task for you to consider. Take 10 minutes and ask yourself this question. In order for me to play, to be at my best, here are the things that need to happen. And just make a list of what are the things that need to happen. I know for me, for example, I have routines. I have routines in the morning, I've got routines in the evening. And my routines give me the best opportunity to feel my best and to do the things that are gonna give me the greatest results that I want. And so I've discovered that most people never think of this. And so that's your task for today, is what has to happen in order for you to have a great day? And create a list for one great day. What has to happen in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening. So think about thoughts, emotions, feelings, and behaviors. And also think about exercise, diet and nutrition. Think about meditation. Think about anything that could help you have an A game day, and then go and do it.
need motivation?
Watch a Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because you are probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, John Assaraf, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2, create a plan.
Hey there, great day to you. I was just talking to a friend of mine in London while I was doing a little bit of a workout this morning here at the house. And it dawned on me to ask you this question because I asked him this. I said, how's your health plan working? How is your income producing plan working? How is your managing your budget working plan? How is your spiritual awareness plan working? How is your business growth plan working? How is your career enhancement plan working? And he shared with me that he doesn't have a plan. And this is a dear friend I've known for a while. And so I asked him, I said, without a plan, what do you expect to happen? And obviously he got the point, but it also made me aware. One of the things that I just learned how to do that I think is a key factor in my success is for whatever goal I want to achieve, I create a plan. It doesn't matter how simple it is. It doesn't have to be complex, but I create a plan. Here's what I'm going to do. Or here's the goal, right? And the vision of the outcome of that goal and how it feels and looks and who I'm impacting and how it's going to make me feel. And then I just set a really simple plan to get started. What am I going to do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Put it into my calendar and just do it. It doesn't have to be that difficult, but in the absence of a plan, then there's too many variables that can get in the way. It's like, you know, being on a boat over here and you want to go, you know, somewhere, you know, like Hawaii, which is about 8 hours that way. You don't have a plan of where you're going to be in a day, in 2 days, in 3 hours. So ask yourself, what's your plan? Why not put together just a simple plan for inner sizing to strengthen your mindset, your emotional skills, your focus, your awareness? Put a plan together for the actions required to achieve your goals. And just start, but be consistent, right? Consistency is one of the keys to success.
Rule number 3, control your journey.
Over the last couple of weeks, as I've been in a lot of self-reflection mode, reviewing what worked in 2019, what didn't, and why. And as I looked at the person in the mirror who is responsible for what worked and what didn't, here's what I can share with you were a few of the key distinctions and lessons for me. Number 1 is details matter. The goals that I had in 2019, where I was really clear on the outcome and the specifics of how I was going to achieve it, and I built into my calendar the review process to see whether I'm on track or off track and to determine why. When I looked at the results that I achieved, every single goal that I achieved was backed by the strategies, the tactics, the timelines, the tools, and the resources to achieve that goal. And every single goal that I didn't achieve did not have the strategies, the tactics, the timelines, the tools, and resources to achieve it. So what does that tell me that I can impart and share with you? Number 1, a goal without a clear plan is really not enough to make it happen. And so what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks for my own personal goals, for the goals with my wife, for the goals with my team for NeuroGym, is we have been breaking down every goal that we are committed to achieving, not that we want to achieve, that we are committed to achieving, and we are drilling down with exactly how we're going to achieve it. And here's what is really critical. I have a theme, and that's around slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Let me explain. I tend to go fast. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on. And for some things that works, and for other things, it just doesn't work. And so I am going to be working on, focusing on, slowing down to get all the plans, systems, processes in place so that we can actually pick up speed instead of let's go and figure it out along the way. So for you, why not maybe adopt, my theme for at least a month, slow down to pick up speed, and take every one of your goals for this quarter and slow down enough to ask yourself, how am I going to achieve that goal? Whether it's a health goal, relationship goal, career goal, business goal, financial goal, How are you going to do it? And come up with your plan. And it doesn't matter if your plan is, simple or complex, but come up with your plan and then take that plan and put it into your calendar and then work your plan every day, every week, every month, every quarter. And then adjust on a regular basis. Many of you know that I take about 15 to 20 minutes every morning to look at my plan for the day, my appointments for the day, the outcomes for the day. I take about 20 to 30 minutes every Sunday night to review my week and to plan the following week. I take about 2 to 3 hours every month to review the month. And then I take a day every quarter to review the quarter. Why? Well, imagine that we were on a boat on the water over there, and we were going from here in San Diego. Let's say we were going to the South Pacific Islands. We'd pick our destination, and then we would check, are we on track or are we off track on a regular basis? And maybe there's a GPS system on the boat that tells us, you're heading in the right direction or you're not heading in the right direction, and making some auto corrections. But there's also the captain, right, making adjustments based on the wind, the temperature of the water, the waves, etc. So why not become the captain of your own ship with your destination, the points you're going to achieve along the way, and a bunch of points in between to check and balance, check and balance, check and balance, check and balance. The more frequently you check and balance, are you on track or off track, doing the right things or not, the more you can predict whether you're going to achieve your goals and dreams.
Rule number 4, learn to adapt.
First and foremost, I like to deal with reality of what is going on and what is the truth first and foremost. Now, let me ask you a question. Would you agree that times of uncertainty, times maybe of fear for some people, times of stress for some people, is also a time for us to learn how to adapt? Isn't adaptation one of the greatest skills, that we as humans can learn? And many years ago when I was in the Galapagos Islands, I bought a hat. And if you have ever been to the Galapagos, you'll know that it's like going back 5 million years. And there's a saying there, and I got this hat, says adapt or die. Why? Because the survival of the fittest, the whole idea of survival of the fittest is based on Darwin's work, and we actually retraced his trail with the Beagle when he was writing about the survival of the fittest and learning about adaptation. Is the animals that learned to adapt were the ones that survived. The ones that got to survive obviously multiplied. So here is my question for you, We are sometimes the most advanced species on Earth. Most intelligent, and I'm going to say sometimes, right? What are you doing to adapt right now? What are you doing to adapt right now? What are you doing to adapt mentally? What are you doing to adapt emotionally? What are you doing to adapt physically? What are you doing to adapt spiritually? What are you doing to adapt financially? Right? Those are the 5 places of adaptation, right? So spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially. So what are you doing, to adapt? Right? What are you doing to adapt? When there are things happening in our environment, whose responsibility is it to adapt? Right? So let me share something with you. If it's true that adaptation is a skill, right? If it's true that, as a human species, we have the ability to adapt, let me give you a couple of things that may help, And I like that. Praying, yeah. Share with me, what you're doing. Divergent, I guess you didn't like my comments because you're still here, right? So share with me, how do you manage? Let's start with number 1. How do you manage your mindset to go from being reactive to being responsive? Is that something that every one of us can do? When we're reacting, it's usually without any thought. Right? It's usually without any thought. When we're responding, it's usually because of thought, right? And I don't mean just thoughts, I mean thinking. So the way I like to do it is say, here's what's happening, whether it's, interest rates, the market crashing, COVID, monkeypox, the Texas shooting, which please, let's say some prayers to all of the families, that are going through this nightmare right now. But what can we do, what you and I can do to respond instead of react, right? So naturally, depending on the situation, we may react in anger. And that's a part of our fight, flight response, right? We're going to act out of anger and blame and shame and guilt. That's right. But we may act in a state of fear, right? Fear is a protective state, since the number one priority of our brain is to avoid any pain or discomfort, but also to make sure that anything that is happening around us, right, is managed for survival and safety. Survival and safety.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5, have discipline.
Everyone